Hello viewers, welcome to UN Autonomous College. Today we can discuss the concept of interface in Java. Before going to discuss about this topic, first of all you know what is the real meaning of that concept of final and what is the real meaning of the concept of an abstract class. Then we can go the concept of interface concept. We know that in a C and C++ concept we have a keyword that is known as a const. With the help of that keyword we can make a variable as a constant. That means that variable contains some value and that values cannot be changed throughout a program. That is the use of that const keyword. But in Java we are using as a new keyword that is known as final. With the help of that final keyword we can make a variable constant throughout a program. That means whenever you are making a method or you can declare a method as a final, then that method you never to override any subclasses. If you are making a class as a final, that means that class you never inherited by any other classes. It is a real criteria of the final keyword, and that final keyword is only used to avoid the concept of method overriding, which is a very confusing and ambiguity cases in our programming language, in our inheritance related programming concept. That's why to avoid this type of ambiguity from our programming concept, where implement that is the final keyword. Due to the implementation of that final keyword, it makes that whole program become strict and is making one boundary. That boundary is so strict and so complicated to inherit one class to another class. That's why we are making another new keyword that is known as a abstract. That means with the help of that abstract keyword we are making a class as abstract, then otherwise we can making a class or method as an abstract. The different way we can doing that program. Whenever user implementing that concept of abstract, that means what are the different properties related to that abstract concept. That means whenever user using that abstract keyword in our program, that means and that abstract keyword is implemented in our method concept. In this case a method only contains the signature. There is no any body part of that method, and its body part should be declared in its inherited class. That means whenever a normal class is inherited to a abstract related class, that means whole properties, whole statement of that abstract method should be declared inside that subclass concept. Okay, so in this way we are doing our abstract related program. And one thing is always remember, each and every abstract method is stored in a specific class and that class should be declared as an abstract. This is the real properties of that abstract class. Next properties we can learn about it. Whenever you want to create an object of that abstract class, you are unable to do that. That means a abstract class never contain any type of object in our program. Only we can contain a normal structure, never to make an object, and you never make a class or method as a static in our abstract related concept. That means if a user want to use the method of that abstract class, then user must to create a subclass and that subclass must be inherited to that abstract class. Then that method inside the abstract class method should be declared inside the subclass concept. Okay, in this way we are doing our specific type of program. That means then we can create an object of that subclass. Through that subclass object we can invoke that method, and which method is present in our abstract class. So in this way we are solving our some confusing means method overriding type of programs, very flexible way without any ambiguity. But there is a problem in that abstract class. We need to design a multiple inheritance in our program. In that time we prefer a concept of interface. Then how to know that what is the real working principle of that interface? Now we can learn. Let us focus on that slide. Today we can discuss the topic outlines. That means today we can learn what is the real meaning of that interface and what are the requirement of that interface concept. Then we can learn how to declare that interface, then properties of an interface, then we can implement that interface in our program. Last but not least, we can learn how to extending that interfaces in our programming concept. Let us focus on the first slide. What is the interface concept? An interface is a reference type in Java. It is similar to class. It is a collection of abstract methods. A class implements an interface, thereby inheriting the abstract methods of the interface. That means whenever user going to declare a interface related program, that means inside whole method of that interface program, it is by default considered as an abstract, and its variable by default considered as an final and static. That means the whole structure is somehow related to abstract concept. That's why learning the focus on the slide. It is a collection of an abstract method inside our interface concept, as well as a class is always implements an interface. That means a user never extends a interface concept. A user always make a class, and that class should be implemented an interface. So in this way we are making an inheritance concept in our program. Next we can learn, by using that interface concept we are making each and every variables as a constant by declaration of final and static, but it is an optional. Whenever you are not declaring final and static, by default its variable considered as a constant. Then its default method and considered as an abstract by default. In this way we are designing our interface class body structure. Whenever user going to declare a class structure, and that class structure somehow related to declaration of that interface concept. That means we know that whenever user taking the class concept, through that class a user can make different type of inheritance like single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, then hierarchical inheritance, instead of only that is known as a multiple inheritance. That multiple inheritance only possible in our interface concept. Let us focus on that slide. So in that way we can making an interface which contains behaviors that a class implements. So in this way we are designing our interface whole body structure. Unless the class that implements the interface is by default known as an abstract, all methods of the interface need to be defined in the class. That means that whenever user want to design any type of methods with a body structure, that means that method should be declared some inherited class of that interface. So an interface is similar to a class, which is already discussed in the below. An interface can contain any number of methods without any problem, as well as you can also write in a file that is stored in .java extension with the name of the interface matching the name of the file. That is on optional cases we can use it. Then the bytecode of an interface appears in a .class file. We know that. So whenever user want to create any type of interface related program, that means without creating an object of that interface class, we can make an object of the class. That means which class is inherited to a specific type of interface concept. We can make an object of that class. Through that class we can use whole properties of that interface concept. Let us focus on next slide. We can discuss how to declare that interface in our program. We know that whenever user going to declare any type of class related program, user must to take the help of a keyword that is known as a class. Similarly, whenever user is going to solve some interface related problem, we must to use that is a keyword that is known as interface. With the help of that interface keyword, user can easily declare multiple variables inside that interface, and that variable by default known as a final and static, as well as user can also declare multiple methods, by default that method known as an abstract. That means that abstract type methods only contain the body structure. That means what is the meaning of body structure? We can write the return type, then a method name, and with parenthesis that end with a semicolon. This is a normal signature of that interface method. Next we can learn how to declare that interface program. First of all, we can import and package that is known as a lang package, as well as we can also import some IO package in our program. Then we can declare one statement like public interface, then interface name of the interface. We can write that name of the interface should be any type, by any name you can declare. That may be A, that may be your name, that may be any name we can declare in that name of the interface. But another thing you must be remember, that public is an access specifier, but that is known as optional in our programming concept. And whenever user can write that private, that means this program is always strictly used in a single program, unable to doing any type of activity. That's why in that interface we can declare some data members. That means that may be your variable. By default, that variable, any number of variables you can declare. By default, that type of variable is known as final or static field we have in our program. Next, any number of abstract method declarations is implemented in our program. So in this way, we are knowing about our programs. We can declare only the body structure in it, only end, which is end with that semicolon. Next, we can learn interfaces have the following properties. We know what are the different properties related to that interface concept. First of all, an interface is implicitly abstract. We know that where previously we were discussing the concept of an abstract. Similarly, the implicitly that interface concept somehow related to abstract concept. What are the different properties of abstract are also implemented in our interface concept without any reason. Let us focus on that slide. Next, we can learn you don't need to use the abstract keyword while declaring an interface. That means whenever user going to declare that interface program without any declaration of that keyword abstract, there is no need to write that abstract keyword before the keyword of interface. By default, that interface is implicitly considered as an abstract. There is no need to declare that abstract keyword in our program. Next, each method in an interface is also implicitly abstract. We know that, so that the abstract keyword is not needed, we can declare in our program. Already we have discussed about this point. Next, the methods in an interface are implicitly public. There is no need to declare public in that program in our interface concept. By default, it is considered as a public access specifier in our interface related methods. Next, we can learn what are the examples related to that interface concept, then how to declare that interface in our program. We know that first of all, the user must to declare an interface which is with a specific name. That means we are right here interface, then we are declaring that interface name, and that name should be variable. That maybe you can write animal, that maybe you can write your any type of vehicle, your personal name, any type of object name we can declare instead of that animal word. Then inside that interface we are declaring two type of methods like void eat method, then void travel method. In that travel and eat method declaring with the access specifier public, but it is optional in nature. If you are interested to write this public access specifier, then there is no problem. If you are not declaring that public keyword or public access specifier in that method, there is no problem, because we know that it is a by default known as a abstract. It is a signature of an abstract. That means that method implicitly known as an abstract. That means that method does not contain any body part, only the signature of that method, which is end with that semicolon. There is no any body part. So that we have two methods in that animal class, that is known as the eat method and travel method. Through two method we can calculate some eating procedure and traveling procedure of a specific type of animal in our program. Next, we can learn how to implement, or we can say what are the different structures of implementation of that interface in our program. We know that whenever a user want to inherit through a class with another parent class, we are using a specific type of keyword. We know that that is known as extends. Through that extends keyword, we can easily inherit a specific type of subclass to a parent class. Similarly, in our interface related program, we can make a class with a class name, and that class want to inherit to that interface with the help of a specific type of keyword, that keyword known as and implements. With the help of that implements keyword, we can easily inherit a specific class to an interface related program. Let us focus on that slide. Whenever a user can have a class which implements an interface, you can think of the class as signing a contract or agreeing to perform a specific behavior of the interface. If a class does not perform any behaviors of the interface, then the class must declare itself as abstract. That means whenever user declaring that interface keyword, there is no need to declare any abstract keyword in front of that interface. That interface implicitly considered as an abstract throughout program. Okay, fine. Next we can learn a class uses the implements keyword to implement an interface. Already we can discuss in previous section. Whenever user want to inherit any type of interface related name or interface related part, then a class must be use a specific type of keywords that is known as implements. Through that implements keyword, user can easily inherit to a specific type of interface related program. Then the implements keyword appears in the class declaration following the extends portion of the declaration. We know that interface must be inherited to, or we can say that interface must be inherited by a class with the help of a specific type of keyword, and that keyword known as implements. Through that implements keyword, we can easily inherit a specific class to a specific type of interface throughout program. Okay. Next we can learn what are the examples related to that interface concept. That means a simple example which is written by, that is the previous section, that is known as animal. First of all, we can declare a package that is known as Java IO package, and it must be written like import space java.io star semicolon. Similarly, you can also declare another type of package like language package. The down part of that import space java.lang star semicolon. Then we can declare an interface, then interface name. There is no need to declare, it is optional in nature, means public access specifier. If you want to write that public in front of that interface word keyword, then there is no any problem. That's it is optional nature. That's why we are writing here like interface with a interface name, that is written as animal. Then inside that class section, we are declaring two methods like eat method and travel method. In that eat method, we need to inherit it, and that inheritance only possible through a class which is declared in the down part. Here also we are declaring like public class with a class name, that means the mammal int, then which implements to animal. That animal is a base class, means is a base interface class, and because you know that interface concept somehow related to our class, but the way of declaration and way of property is totally different in our program. That's why it is here public class mammal int, it is known as a class name, is a subclass which is inherited to that animal interface and through a keyword that is known as interface. In that class, we must to declare that eat method is abstract method, and this abstract method body part should be declared inside that subclass which is inherited to an interface part like it, and that it contain a whole body structure like system.out.println is known as mammal eats. It's one statement, normal statements we are going to printing throughout program, and that means it's one signature. It is, we never say it is known as a overriding concept. Somehow looks like a overriding, but there is no any ambiguity in that case, because here the interface eat method does not contain any statement inside that eat method, and that statement, its body structure should be declared inside that inherited class like mammal int. Inside this class we are declaring the body structure of this eat method, which is implicitly known as abstract in nature. Next we can declare the travel method. Inside that travel method we are written a one statement like system.out.println, and we have a one statement like mammal travels. That means it is a normal statement. Through the statement we are printing in our program. Then we are never taking any more than one classes. Inside that subclass we are declaring another method like no, means number of legs of that mammal int, that is written as 0. That means there is no any statement printed by your system. Inside that class we have a method name as a main method, which is declared as public static void main with a parameter like string args. String args is known as args is one type of string type argument. Inside that main method we are going to declare an object. That object is related to that class, that means a mammal int class. Then we are writing here mammal int, then declaring an object m with new keyword, then mammal int is known as a default constructor. Here we are not declaring that any type of constructor in that program, we are only create an object of that m, and through that object we are invoking that eat method directly, and also we can invoking that travel method without any problem. That means inside our subclass we have its body structure, and its body structure is automatically invoked in our program without any problem. That means whenever this line is executed, that means the control is automatically shifted to this section. There is a it section of which is declared inside your subclass. Whenever user is invoking, that is known as m.travel method, automatically your travel section is executed throughout program. So in this way we are invoking or using our programming part. Next we can learn how to extending our interfaces throughout program. We know that whenever user going to declare a class, every moment a class is always inherited to another class through a keyword that is known as extends. With the help of that extends keyword, we are easily inheriting a specific class to another parent class without any problem. But in our interface concept, each and every interface must be inherited by a class, and that class can inherit it to a specific type of interface through a keyword that is known as implements. If a user want to make that extending in our interface concept, user must to take the help of that point. We can focus on that slide. An interface can extend another interface in the same way that a class can extend another class. That means whenever user going to declare a class, and that class must be extend to another parent class with the help of that extends keyword. Similarly, whenever a interface is want to inherit it to another interface with the help of that is keyword that is known as extends, which is already related to our interface concept of class. That means a class is also inherited to another class with the help of that keyword that is known as extends. Next we can focus on that slide. That extends keyword is used to extend an interface, and the child interface means inherits the method of the parent interface. So in this way we are making an inheritance, which I already discussed in our example. Suppose user want to design that extending interface through in this way. Suppose the user can declare an interface with a name that is known as A, and A contains some statements that may be number of variables or methods. Then we are declaring another interface that is named as B. That means B is inherited to another interface A with the help of that extends keyword. That means the interface type is inherited to another interface type. We can take the help of that extends keyword. Similarly, we can also declare some extra methods inside that sub interface B, which is also used throughout program. Then we, in this way we can declare in our programming part. So it is related to our extending concept, which is so optional part in our program. It is only depends on the requirement of an user. If user want to design this type of related programs, it is then we can use it, otherwise not. Okay, finally, thank you.